Nahki, after a little bit of a break, I mean, the two games coming up away from home, how do you sort of feel going into match like this when you're going up against such relatively big teams who've been in the Premier League obviously last season?
Mm. Yeah, I mean it's a tough task, of course, to go away to two teams probably expected to be at the top of the table. I think we're going away to them in probably the best time for ourselves. Um, we're going there to turn them over. That's the mindset.
And I was going to say, because confidence-wise, I couldn't imagine you being in a much better place with some of the football and the results you've been getting.
Yeah, exactly. We played really well. We've had some back-to-back wins. Um, fully deserving to be where we are in the league. We could easily be higher. So yeah, we couldn't have thought of a better time to go away. But we know what we're up against.
And that consistency of selection that's been able to be there because A, you're getting results, and B, the players are staying fit. It's such a key for teams to be successful, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've been on the fortunate side in that area. We've been able to have a very similar side in recent weeks, which helps significantly. We had that continuity in the team and amongst ourselves to kind of know what to expect from our teammates as we build throughout the season. And equally, we have competition for places. We have a very strong squad, and that bodes well for success, of course.
A nice moment today with Tommy getting the Young Player of the Month award. That's got to feel pretty good for a guy who wouldn't have been sure of his place in the team a month ago.
Yeah, exactly. In football, things come at you fast. Success comes quickly, and he's fully deserving of all the praise and accolades he's got over the last 6 weeks or so. So it's good to see him flourishing. It's important, he keeps his head down and stays grounded, and that's an importance for us as senior players and teammates to help. But he's hungry for success, and that's what's important.
And dressing rooms can be quite brutal, but fun places. I'm sure you won't be letting him get ahead of himself.
Yeah, no, I'll probably be the first one to tell him, but he's been good. Like I said, he obviously success and success breeds growth and things like that. But he's well grounded. I think he knows success comes from hard work, and that's the platform to go on and do well. And as long as he continues that, the sky is the limit, of course.
And where have you seen the growth for him? Because undoubtedly he looks a much more potent player maybe this year than the few occasions he got last season.
Yeah, it's difficult to say exactly, but sometimes in football it's just about taking that opportunity. He got given an opportunity at Coventry, against Coventry in the Carabao Cup, and played really well alongside myself that day. And I think it was probably a fixture that probably changed a lot for both of us this season. So that was the catalyst of what has given us this opportunity now, and it just showed he always had the ability. It was all about timing, and then the gaffer felt it was right to really throw him in, and he was fully deserving of that of that start, and he played really well and got a season up and running.
And chance is such a big part of all sports. And how do you deal with that? Because like you say, you got that opportunity, you played really well yourself in that game, and now you've become a fixture in the side ever since. But when you're not getting that opportunity, how difficult is it to sort of to wipe it off almost and say, I've just got to keep doing what I can do here?
That's the thing. It is very difficult when you aren't being given the opportunities, and sometimes some opportunities are easier than others. Sometimes a bit of luck, a bit of fortune. Many different things. I got given a few opportunities last season, for example, and I weren't able to take them like I was able to take them this year. And I wouldn't say I was underprepared, or I wasn't ready mentally, or I wasn't trying in the right place mentally. Sometimes it just doesn't happen for you, and luckily for myself and TC, when we were given that chance, it just happened, and we were able to make something of it. And I think that's just given us the platform to really go out there and continue to play and perform. And we know each other well on and off the pitch, so that just makes it that much easier.
And I understand you've been keeping him in his place in the on the table tennis table as well as the football pitch.
Yeah, ironically, I just slapped him up on the game just now before I come, and I had to stop that to come and do this. But that's standard procedure between me and him every day.
Thank you.
No worries.
Nahki, you really seem to be enjoying your football at the moment, and it's really enjoyable to watch from the stands. Is it equally as enjoyable to play in, because the amount of chances that you're creating at the moment is quite extraordinary, really.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the best sides and periods in my footballing career that I've kind of enjoyed to play in. I think we have a really well balanced team at the moment, and that that gives us as forwards the platform to go and be free and be creative and make things happen. And this season it's a lot easier. Last season I might have got a chance once every 2 or 3 games. Now I feel like I'll get a chance in each half of football, and when your confidence is flowing and you're in a good place physically and mentally, that you have to back yourself to take it. And that's what I'm doing right now. It always feels like if one falls for me, I'll take it, and that's the place you want to be in as a footballer. And then this side, we just have to give credit to the whole team and the ones behind us and the gaffer especially.
Where does these strike partnerships rank among those that you played in your career? You must have had a few down the years. Jamie Patterson, Jan Vaughan.
Yeah. It's weird because it's like I've had played in this partnership before in the 23s 4 or 5 times last season, and it was like I feel like every time I know it's 23s, it's not as competitive, it's not, but like I was always able to create chances with Tommy scored goals. I was always able to score goals in those games, and it's like something about the connection just worked. That's completely different realm or level of football, but when you kind of build the relationship off the pitch, and then you kind of understand each other and what you want to do. And I think the main thing for both of us is we're both willing to work hard no matter what. We'll run till our legs go off, and I think that's always going to bode well in the team and provide us with opportunities, and that's what's really worked.
That hard work, is that the basis of why you complement each other so well in attack?
Maybe. If I had to try kind of hit the nail on the head with something, I'd say the understanding of what the hard work does for the side and the benefits it brings us. If you look through it, the majority of the good things we've been able to do as a team has probably come from one of us just being a pest or not giving up on something, or challenging a defender twice our size and chasing down things like it's a knock-on and a trickle-on effect, and that's been what I believe is the most important pedigree for what's helped us to do so well.
How important is it to build a strike partnership on the pitch by having a close friendship off it? Does it make much? I'm guessing it does make a difference to be close friends off the pitch and then perform well together on the pitch. From your experience,
I think it definitely makes it a lot easier. In the past, I probably haven't had really good friendships off the pitch with people who, for example, I played well with. Like you said, maybe like a James Hansen, James Vaughan, Jordan Hugo. I've done very well with all 3 of those, and I wouldn't say I had a particularly very well friendship off the pitch, so I wouldn't say that has to be the case, but it definitely does make it a lot easier when you can sit down in the change room, have banter, talk about what we can and can't do, what we need to do together, and just the understanding that we know that we have to work hard, and we know we have to gel as a partnership in order to flourish and perform at our best.
I find it for me, Nahki, you're part of a side that went to the playoffs in 2016-17, I think, season.
17, yeah.
What are those characteristics that make a team that successful, and can you see any similarities with this Bristol City team at the moment? I
can. It's the understanding of hard work. I think I think we can. Well, I was just speaking with Jay De Silva a couple of days ago, and it's a bit confidential, but we just sat there and talked to each other. We said, we're a really good side. Like we come off from training. Training was fantastic. It was zippy. It was sharp. Everyone was running about, tackling. Anyone could come in and out the side at this point and do a really good job. We feel like some people are being left out that probably can play in a lot of championship sides. It just shows you it's a really good place to be, and I think that's the catalyst. I'd probably say that's probably one of the things that maybe let ourselves down a bit last year, along with the odd injury or so. But just the drive from the management staff into ourselves, into the senior pros, into the entire squad, and making sure we drive that every day in training, that we're doing it outside, and that's being replicated on the pitch.
Thanks for your time,